Hello everyone. In this video, we present the main functionalities of the CoMPaSS-Atlas platform, designed to support the exploration and stratification of patients with neuromuscular disorders through multidimensional data. The platform integrates clinical, histological, MRI, and genetic data into a single environment, enabling advanced filtering, inspection, and data export. We can start by logging in using the green button on the top right window. And after inserting the username and password credentials, we can access the main dashboard. New patients can be created directly within the platform through a dedicated interface. Here it's possible to fill in a few amount of data, like date of birth, the clinical center of reference, and the sex of the patient. After clicking the Generate Patient ID button, the patient is generated and a CoMPaSS code is associated with the patient. Each patient is assigned a pseudonymized identifier, the CoMPaSS code, ensuring compliance with data protection requirements. We can now move on and filter the dashboard and the list of patients that we can see here. We can click on the metadata filtering button and start by selecting a patient based on the sex. And for example, here we want to find all the patients that are female. And then we want to combine this filter with another data, which is the age. And we want in this case to find all the patients with less than 26 years old. We can see that the dashboard is listing now only those patients with the filters that we selected. Furthermore, it's possible to also combine anagraphic filters with clinical filters by selecting the other section and then searching for a particular parameter, like for example, the motor impairment. We can then select the age of onset, and we want to select those that at maximum had an age of onset of motor impairment at 15 years old. We can see here that we filtered the table to find only one particular patient. We can then move on to clear the filters that we applied in the left box. And next we can show the HPO filterings by clicking the other button next to metadata filtering. Here at this point we can then select the particular HPO terms that we want to apply to filter the entire table. For example, we can select waddling gait. And we can see that the patients were filtered. We can also even here add multiple filters combined. For example, we can add scoliosis as a term and filter only those patients with that particular data. We can move next and clear all the filters and everything. Here we are back with the main dashboard. We can see in the table that there are multiple columns. The leftmost column is for generating a barcode. We can click on the button and select the size for that particular barcode that we want to generate for assigning a particular CoMPaSS code to that patient. We can see then the two identifiers used for each patient, the clinical center of reference, the sex, the date of birth, and 4 columns with counters for data uploaded for that particular patient. We can start by looking at the clinical parameters that were added for patients. By clicking on the counter, it's possible to create a new clinical form or show those that are currently uploaded. Here we can select one of the clinical forms associated with the patients and inspect all the sections that were provided for that particular patient. We can see that we have general information, comorbidities, other diseases, drugs, reproductive history, menopause, and many more. Going back to the top of the page, it's possible to also export those clinical form by selecting the forms that we want to download, and then clicking on the top right button for download selected. We can choose within two format of document, a PDF one and a CSV. We can then click download, and a particular form is downloaded. You can see here a sample of containing all the parameters associated with that patient. We can move back, deselect those patients, and going back again to the dashboard. We can move on with the histological data by clicking the tissue scan counter, and again here it's possible to upload a new sample or show the others that were already uploaded. By selecting one of the histological data that were uploaded and are visible here in the table, it's possible to have a preview of the metadata and a preview image showcasing the sample that was uploaded for that patient. For histological data, we have also an evaluation list. Here it's possible to select a particular evaluation and have a look at the parameters that were uploaded and were uploaded subjectively based on the sample and what the medic decided to associate with that sample. Furthermore, we can now move back to the data portal again and have a look at the MRIs that were uploaded. Here, with the same interface and the same layout, it's possible again to select one of the data present in the list and have a look at the metadata available for that sample. We can also select one or two of the samples from the table and then download those. We can select downloading the data within three types. The first one, it's raw data only, meaning that you are trying to download only the sample. You can also download only the metadata without the actual sample that was uploaded and stored in the platform, but also both of them. Again, it's possible to select if we want the report to be generated in PDF or CSV. We can then go back and inspect the last page for data, which is DNA or genetics data. We can click on the show DNA files, select one of the samples that were uploaded, and it's possible here to have a look at the available files that were uploaded during the analysis of the blood sample. We can have a look at the various files that were uploaded, like metrics, FASTQ files, BAM, small variants, annotations, or structural variations. Again, here it's possible to select multiple files and download those. On the right part of the window, it's possible also to have a look at the metadata associated with the analysis that was performed on the blood sample for that particular patient. We can then move back to the data portal again. And that's it. This was an overview of the functionalities available in the CoMPaSS-NMD Atlas platform. In summary, the Atlas platform provides a unified environment for managing and exploring multidimensional patient data. Its advanced filtering and visualization capabilities support improved patient stratification and research in neuromuscular disorders. Thank you, everyone.